After giving birth, a woman realized that her child's race did not match her own or her husband's, leading to the baby being rejected by both her husband and his mother. Later, the woman did not want her mother-in-law to bond with the child because she had never apologized for rejecting her granddaughter. This woman had married in her teens and later gave birth to a baby girl. However, the child's appearance seemed to indicate a different race from both parents, causing significant conflict. The husband, influenced by his family, rejected the baby and accused his wife of infidelity, which led to her being maligned on social media. She was forced to stay away from home and went to great lengths to prove that her husband was indeed the father of their baby. Even after being welcomed back home, she refused to allow her mother-in-law to visit and bond with the child. On September 26, 2021, a Reddit user with the username Mundane took to one of the platform's communities for advice. The user revealed that she was a 21-year-old woman who had been with her 29-year-old husband since she was 18. The pair married when the woman was 19, and they had a good relationship based on trust. However, things changed when the couple's firstborn child emerged with brown eyes, dark skin, and thick dark curly hair. Seeing as the child's mother and father were both white with light-colored hair and eyes, the child's appearance caused a stir. Everyone believed the mother had cheated on her husband, despite her denying it. She recalled, "It was an awful moment of my life because I felt alone. Even my husband thought I cheated on him." Her husband even left her alone at the hospital after their daughter was born because his mother convinced him to. The woman didn't receive any visitors in the hospital because her mother-in-law shared images of the child on social media and called her a cheater. The new mom wasn't aware that her mother-in-law took photos of her child. When she tried texting her husband, pleading with him to get a DNA test, he ignored them, saying she had to stay at her sister's house for a month instead of returning home. She eventually convinced him to get the test, and it proved without a doubt that he was the little girl's father. Upon getting the results, her husband apologized profusely and allowed her to return to their home, but their relationship had changed. The poster confessed that she felt differently toward her husband ever since he rejected her when their daughter was born. Despite the DNA test, the woman's mother-in-law continued saying she had cheated and even used racial slurs when talking about her granddaughter. The husband's mother continued to use derogatory terms to describe her granddaughter and spread rumors that the DNA test was fake. The mother-in-law went as far as saying she never treated the child as her granddaughter. One day, the mother-in-law suddenly asked if she could visit and even referred to the child as her granddaughter. The 21-year-old felt uncomfortable with this sudden change in demeanor and refused the visit. Her husband reacted in anger and felt the visit would have given his mother a chance to bond with their daughter, believing it was the child's right to know her grandparents. Despite this, his wife still felt uncertain, especially because her mother-in-law had never apologized. She wanted to know if she was being terrible for not allowing her mother-in-law to visit the new baby. Many Reddit users entered the comments section to share their thoughts about the woman's actions. One Reddit user noted the part where Mundane confirmed that she felt different towards her husband and urged her to get a divorce. The person said the mother of one wasn't wrong and that anyone who'd do what her husband did to her without getting a DNA test was someone she should be concerned about. Someone with the username Leela Black said the woman was right and should take screenshots of the racial slurs used by the mother-in-law and save them. The social media user felt they'd come in handy if divorce proceedings occurred, saying, "You can state in court how you're scared that your husband will expose your child to a racist." The follower felt the woman's actions were justified and asked why she hadn't divorced the mama's boy yet, noting how the poster had said she married her husband at age 19. The social media user was concerned about her marrying a 26-year-old man. The commenter teased about the husband being a real keeper because he left her abandoned and alone at the hospital after giving birth to their child. The Reddit user also couldn't believe the woman's husband kicked her out of their house for a month after she'd given birth. The person urged her to get a divorce and primary custody of the child if possible. They also encouraged her to document all the racial slurs and things her mother-in-law did, including the treatment her husband had given her and their daughter. The follower believed any man who kicked their wife out after she'd just given birth to his child was a monster. The social media user felt the woman's husband couldn't be so naive as to pin all the blame on his mother. The person warned the poster about being in an abusive relationship despite her husband not physically abusing her. The commenter believed the woman was being mentally abused by her husband and his family. Someone with the username FutureLog2849 felt Mundane's daughter was defenseless and vulnerable, implying she had to ensure her baby's safety. The Reddit user said the child also relied on her mother for protection from people like her grandmother and father, adding, "You know they are abusive because they have verbally and emotionally abused you." The person felt the mother-son pair couldn't be trusted not to harm her daughter. Even if it wasn't physical, the emotional damage alone would leave more profound and permanent scars. The social media user expressed that they wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone who treated them the way the poster had been treated. Many users agreed, stating that no one should tolerate how the mother and her child were treated by their family. One follower criticized the child's grandmother and supported the poster's decision to refuse the mother-in-law's visits with her granddaughter. The Reddit user believed that Mundane_Uncore_Waltz_116 would have been wrong to expose her defenseless child to someone as blatantly toxic and abusive as the grandmother.